we need a lot of types of planning for the nonviolent struggle, and we need to focus straight to our goals. It's really now to start planning a real field campaign, and this is the simple skill that we're going to build around in order to build our plan that will be clear for to execute the activities, but also answer to the question who is going to do what, when, how, and why. By now, you already understood why it's needed strategic planning and how every tactic in a campaign should fit to the overall goal. By now, you also are start envisioning your activity in the future and start an inverse backwards planning process towards today. Now, you're already thinking in terms of tactics and how to use the tactics, how to do the cost benefit analysis of tactics. Now it's time for planning. Planning is a simple exercise which will help you understand and use this format for strategic and tactical planning. This is organizing your ideas in a very clear way so that activists on the ground can understand why he or she is doing and how this is going to affect the overall movement. It can be used for both particular actions in a campaign with actions on several fronts. We talk to the most important questions that the reader of the plan and those who execute the plan needs to know. Question number one, what situation? What is the current situational environment in which our planned operation or action will take place around? This is similar to the background analysis that you are doing prior to your political planning. Section is what is to be done, what is planned activity or activities that we want to achieve throughout our campaign. Question number three, how we are going to achieve it, what is the concept of this operation, and then go to identifying the specific tasks and assignments and responsibilities that the activists will carry on. And so the plan needs to contain essential information about how to support this, who is going to communicate with whom, what is the support and communication, and what are the logistics of this operation. Let me give you an example. Imagine writing your campaign plan, you will think about the achieved goal, you are analyzing the environment, you're putting together the costs and benefits of whatever you are doing. Now, these are the 5 pieces that your planning format is going to have. First of all, the situation. Second, statement. 3, execution, if needed, broken phases. 4, administration and logistics. And 5, coordination and communications. This is a typical example of what you achieve. You want to look at the situation and write it down in one part. And you want to look at the mission statement, which is very important. Remember, the mission statement is something you have maybe 20 to 30 seconds to think about. This is a typical example from a Serbian Get Out to Vote campaign. Promote free and fair elections in order to install a democratic government. Initiate a nonviolent campaign on March 1st, 2006 to mobilize the public to support and vote for democratic reform candidates in the parliamentary elections. Prevent fraudulent actions at the polls. Establish a national strike committee to impose violent sanctions against the government in the event election fraud occurs. Prepare for installation of a new democratic government. It is so important that you have a clear mission statement, because everybody is going ultimately to ask the question why we are doing this. So this is our plan laid out in one simple paragraph. Phase, which is of course the execution. How we are going to achieve it? Which phases do we need? Do we need to recruit people? Do we need to train people prior to the beginning of our campaign? What is the time frame and what is the phasing of the operation? For example, for Get Out to Vote campaign, you will need a lot of people taking other people to the election. So of course, these people need to be recruited and planned for them. So be careful when you're planning your time frame and always break it down in the phase. Normally, we are looking at the 2 phases. First phase is the phase of preparation. Second phase is the phase of execution. And you may want to add the third phase, which is the phase of the following up on your campaign, where it is following up with media or take care of your activists after the period. For example, you're looking at the Get Out to Vote campaign on your screens. Get Out to Vote campaign could be broken in 3 different phases. First, preparatory phase. Start with the training element of your organization, preparing a curriculum to train people to conduct a Get Out to Vote campaign, making a list of potential candidates, recruit and gathering the candidates. 2, of course, this is where we train our people in each voting district for each ballot box. And during phase 3, these trained activists will provide direct assistance to get voters to the polls, perform polling services, and report results periodically throughout the day. That's how it looks with a simple thing like a Get Out to Vote campaign. You will always need people to prepare people, to train people. Then people will go and execute the carry-on campaign. At the end, very often, you will need a follow-up element campaign. Now, that's campaign plan. The table in front of you contains the 5 different things you want to do in the campaign. First of all is, of course, the situation. Up to paragraphs, the answer is what is the situational environment in which this struggle takes place. You want to get the local context. You don't want to spend too much time thinking about the injustice and, human rights violations. You look at the situation which affects only your campaign. You need to examine all information relevant to your plan, and you want one simple paragraph which explains the situation, and this is the environment in which your campaign occurs. Second, mission statement. Active mission statement is the backbone of every successful nonviolent action. Remember that every single mission statement should have several elements in it, and start thinking about it. Who, do what, when, how, and why. And when you write your mission statement, ask yourself, are these questions answered? Do we have a who going to do the stuff? Very often we are planning the staff without really assigning and delegating the tasks. Then what is to be done? When? What is the time frame for this operation? And then how and why. Why is also very important. This is the part where we discuss the effects of our activity. Explain to your people why are we doing something. People love to be informed. People in the movement deserve to know why they are performing this campaign. And of course, they are going to approach it with far more energy and enthusiasm if they have clear answers on who will do what, when, how, and why. Now to execution phase. You can break it in as many phases as you want, but remember to plan backwards. First, imagine your birthday party somewhere in the future and list all the things which need to be done in order for this birthday party or whatever event you're planning to be successful. Write down and try to put it in a time frame. Various tasks in the phases will help you. Normally, you will need a preparation phase, you will need an execution phase, and you will need a follow-up. Don't let somebody needs to upload these images on social media, as in a party planning, somebody needs to throw the garbage or wash up. But now 2 very boring parts come at the end: administration and logistics. How to do it? What logistical support do we need for it? What else do we need for it? And how we are going to find these ones? Which material resources do we need there? Do we need leaflets? Who is going to print the leaflets? Do we need a website? Who is going to build a website? Are we communicating to the audiences in different languages? Who is going to translate the things? This administration logistic part, however boring it is so very important because this is the very foundation on which your campaign lies. But not the least important, how are we going to coordinate? Very often, popular movements are coordinating within the different. We're all talking about the spectrum of allies, the large coalition of potential allies in certain city. How we are going to bring out the decision-making process. How we are going to make it clear that every single organization will participate in our campaign, understands and supports overall goals. And how groups and individuals are going to communicate throughout the campaign, how we're going to change the plan if necessary, how we are going to adopt to action. Now, piece of paper and start looking at your idea. First of all, select your tactic and campaign truly. Second of all, think that this overall thing shouldn't be longer than 2 or 3 pages. It should be written in a language and put ahead of your ground level activists reading it and needs to understand who is going to do what, when, how, and why. Be able to present your plan to the activists throughout the country. Be able to prepare a little PowerPoint if necessary. People love visuals, they love photos, and they understand it easily. Think about how people who need to execute activities need a clear plan and provide this plan to the people. Good luck with your planning formula.